Time for another Man in Great book review. Today's book is The Clothing of Books, an essay by Jhumpa Lahri, published in 2016 by Vintage and translated from Italian by Alberto Vorolis Bush. It's 74 pages long. Jhumpa Lahri is a writer who was born in Great Britain but to Indian parents, but who grew up in the United States. Up until about 20 years ago, all of her books were written in English. But then she and her husband relocated to Rome, and ever since then, all of her books have been written in Italian. Lahri is best known for her short story collection, The Emperor of Maladies, which won the Pulitzer Prize in 1999. She also wrote two highly regarded novels, Lowland and The Namesake. This book, The Clothing of Books, began as a speech that she gave at a literary conference in Italy. She was asked to give a speech on any kind of topic involving writing or the writing process, and she decided to write about dust jackets or book covers, which is kind of a unique position. She begins by telling a story of how she would used to, when she was on vacation, her family would go back to India, and how she so much admired her cousins for the school uniforms they wore. These uniforms were unique to each school, but they were all alike. And so they were able to identify with a particular school while not standing out as individuals. And she contrasts that with the lack of uniforms in the United States schools, where Lahri was forced to wear kind of hand-me-down clothes by her frugal parents. And she was always being made fun of by wearing clothes that were out of style or kind of worn out. And she longed to have a uniform to wear like those of her cousins. So she connects this to the idea of books and book covers as being kind of uniforms for books. A lot of times the author doesn't really have much impact or input into what the cover is like. And sometimes the artist or designer who creates the books doesn't consult with the author, and that's the case here. Lahri says that she's never had a conversation with any of the creators of the book covers of her books, and she doesn't know what they're going to look like until she gets an email mock-up of the design. Sometimes she's happy with them, and sometimes she's not. But she says here in this essay how important book covers are because they have to sell the book to an audience. The first thing you look at when you look at a book, of course, is the book cover, and you make a judgment on whether you want to peruse it or pick it up based on what the cover looks like. And she talks about how she also admires some designs that are standardized across a book series. Like, for example, the early Penguin books from the 1930s all had an orange spine, little penguin on the cover. This lets you know that they were part of a series from this particular publisher. In this book, Lahri really shows the struggle that writers go through between trying to create an artistic work, a novel or a collection of short stories, and having to market it as a product, which is what the cover is trying to do. Ideally, it strikes a balance where the cover can appeal to sell the book, but it also stands on its own as a work of art. And so she discusses the various examples of book covers in her career as a writer, including one really horrifying example where another book was published with the exact same cover design as hers, even though they were two completely different books. The clothing of books will be of interest to people who collect books and who are artistically inclined and are interested in the cover art of books. And it goes into some interesting details about the behind-the-scenes business practices of book publishing. The book is The Clothing of Books. The author is Jhumpa Lahri. This has been another Man in Great book review. Thanks for watching.